Welcome to the Teen Life Podcast, where we explore your questions to help you make meaningful connections with teenagers, because no teen deserves to feel alone. Have a question you'd like us to address? Email us at podcast@teenlife.ngo. Now, let's jump into this week's question.
How do I help my teen have a healthy, meaningful summer and not just waste it? So that's a great topic of conversation as we enter into the summer here. Like I have all the questions on that. As a father of three, summer gets really boring at our house sometimes. So I don't know about you guys. Like my summer with my kids doesn't necessarily like naturally create growth, and it kind of like all of our patterns and our routines kind of go to the wayside, and structure goes away. And I seen in my own children that when we don't have structure, they kind of lose it. Without structure, they become more like, we have to be more intentional, or else they drift into like this screen filled autopilot. Yeah. So
they don't tend to create their own structure.
No,
without any intent.
No. And a couple of weeks ago, we talked about habits as well. And the idea was, I think humans function well within structure and routine. And so much of a teen's life is built around school that whenever you take 2 months off, there's not structure. And part of that conversation was the idea that without those habits or structure, something will fill that time. And I would guess 90% of teens, that time is going to be filled with screen time, whether it's TV, video games, phone, rest. Not to say that after a grueling school schedule that they don't deserve some kind of rest, but how can we balance it to make it not seem like a total waste?
Yeah, so I think our conversation today is we want to help teens shape their summer in a way that is helpful, in a way that also makes sense to them. Because I also think if you come in and are like, summer school is in session and you were waking up at 7 a.m. and here we go. Like there has to be a balance. We still want them to be kids and have fun.
And it has to make sense to you parents, because you may be listening thinking, I don't have all the money in the world to take care of our social life. And same. Like, and so, because that's where I as a parent get in trouble, is like, okay, we'll just pay for whatever and we'll go do this today. And next thing you know, like the end of the month comes around, you're like, man, we did too much this month, And so, because you're trying to create, like, I don't know if entertainment's the right word, but you're trying to, fill in the gaps of what usually is an 8-hour school day. Like the summer drift is real. Like, I think the biggest misconception about this is that teens are lazy in that situation. And it's not that they're lazy. It's just that they don't have their routine anymore and their structure. And I'm the same way. Whenever I don't have structure, the days kind of blur together, and, you'll be sitting down and realize like, oh man, I haven't done anything in 4 days except sit on this computer or whatever it may be. So that's kind of the point of this. So more free time does not necessarily mean better choices. It just means that there's more time to default to bad habits, like we said, screens, isolation, inconsistent sleep. That's the biggest one. When I lead teen life groups and I ask them like how the break was, or like when we come back from breaks or whatever, 9 times out of 10, the kids will be like, oh man, I stayed until 3 a.m. every night. And, of course, the old person to me is like, how? Like, what are you doing till 3 a.m.? But that's what ends up happening, is that they'll end up staying awake forever and then sleeping through half the day and then just repeating the process. And so,
well, I feel like too, when I talk to counselors, and especially when I was leading groups on alternative campuses, they got nervous around holidays or breaks, because they were like, they're going to have too much time on their hands. They're going to hang out with people they don't know. They're going to get bored. We talked about that a little last week. They're going to get bored and try to fill it with something that is not good for them. And so I do think when you have unlimited amounts of free time, that can sometimes lead to choices where you're like, what are you doing? Why would you ever do that? And they just have a little too much time on their hands. So we need to make sure that we're not just giving bukus of free time.
Hey, and listen, I'm talking to my own wife in this conversation. The goal isn't to have control of the situation. It's just to have some formation. Like, we don't want to like give them an itinerary of every day. And if your kids need that and want that, by all means, knock yourself out. But I don't know many teenagers that want that. But if the idea is to give them more of a a loose rhythm and not a rhythm, not a rigid schedule, because we
Yeah.
want them to find something to do, but also enjoy their summer and get the rest that they need because they've had a hard school year. Like I said, a lot of that does come with habits, and Caleb kind of hinted to it already, but we did do a really deep dive on habit forming a couple weeks ago. So if you want to like listen back and kind of hear more intentionally about what habits look like for a teenager, that's a great thing to maybe also listen to as well. But the main thing I will say is it's good to have some sort of like morning anchor for this thing of like, hey, we're gonna wake up by, I don't know, whatever it may be, 10 a.m. By 10 a.m. you need to be awake because no one needs to sleep past X time. And then have an intentional, Caleb, don't shake your head. That's there's a point
There's
to that. You don't want to
times even
sleep the day
today.
away, but we want to
Yes,
start
you're
the
right.
day intentionally and let your teen or as a family decide what that looks like, whether it's scripture, journaling, maybe just sitting outside and having a cup of coffee or whatever it may be. Like don't let the habit be, roll over in bed and then scroll Instagram for an hour or whatever it may
I
be. Like
I
give them
can I
some sort
can
of
I can
intentional
speak
anchor.
to this
Sure, yeah, please do.
well, because I mean, I would say even last year, because my schedule is just like I have a lot of events in the evening, and like that's my most active time, or like after students. If I'm going to connect, like what part of what I do is I love to grab lunch. I play a lot of disc golf or like spike ball. I love my job, but a lot of it is in the evening. So there'd be times, yeah, I'm like 10, I'm still in bed. I'm like, it's great. But what I've realized is, and was so important, we keep talking about one a couple of weeks ago about habits. It's great. But the morning is so important because if you don't get going in the morning, you're not likely to get going the rest of your day either.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Sets up
that's
your
been
whole
one of
day.
my big things for me, even recently, is I'm making myself get up, even if I don't necessarily have a place to be at 10 or whatever in the morning. Like I have to get up and I have to get productive, so that way the rest of my day is productive. If you look at most of your days, I would assume the majority of your day is a reflection of how you spent your morning. If you're more productive in your morning, in my mornings at least, I'm more productive through the rest of my day. And so, yeah, I think the morning anchor is a great one. And then I think just pushing students to do something that they like, that's also productive, that is also a cherry on top outside. Getting outside is great. And one of the things, I mean, I love summers because students aren't in school, and my students that drive, I mean, we play a lot of disc golf, we go golfing. Students just come up to the church and hang out with me all day, and we'll play Mario Super Sluggers on the Wii. That's great, but it's also productive because they're out there with other people. And so I think working with your students or with your kids and being like, what do you like to do? Like, let's list out the things that you like to do that are productive, and how can I enable you to do those things, to get going, to give them something to get out of the bed. Give them a reason to get out of the bed in the summer, because I think that's a big reason why they might stay in bed is because, what do I have to do today? And so giving them structure, giving some of these habits to look forward to can help them get going.
I mean, there are lots of summer camps. There are lots of, you've got church summer camps, you've got overnight camps, you have sport camps, band camp, art camp. Like, even those things will get them out and moving, or be like, hey, the coolest part of the day is in the morning. So you need to get up so that we can go on a walk together and you can get out of the house and get that sunlight. That's going to help them mentally. I think there is a part too, if your student is not connecting with people face to face, like school is their time to connect with their friends, then they're staying up late, they're sleeping in, they're not doing much, they're not seeing their friends. You are going to notice a big change in their mental health in a negative way. And so getting them up and moving, and then one intentional social touch point, ideally every day. So that could be a hangout with friends in person. That could be, hey, come over to my house. That could be going to lunch with a parent or a sibling or a family member. It could also be, I don't know, playing a game with someone and having a conversation. I think real connection matters more than snap streaks, or I sent my friend a bunch of gifts today, or a bunch of reels and we just laughed
Are
back and
snap streaks
forth.
still a thing? Is that still a
Oh,
thing?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Snapchat is
I
still
have
alive and well.
students who are, like, on camper when we go to Rito, so they're like, "I have to give someone my"
That's
putting
crazy
your
to me.
phone across the room.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I think the intentional social point is great, and I will argue that, yes, I do think playing online with a video game can count, but that doesn't need to be the only way you do it. Like, I
Mhm.
think getting out and face to face, like, shoot, if you're playing a game with a friend, like, say, hey, come over and bring your system or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
even if we're doing the same thing in the same room, like, it's still more intentional than just getting on a group chat or a
Yeah.
FaceTime or whatever it may be. I do think that that can be used as a social touch point in a time where if you couldn't get out for the day or whatever, but that does not need to be your go-to every
Mm-mm.
time.
Yeah,
Um,
not the
and
main source.
yeah,
Yeah.
one of the hard things to do too is whatever your family unit looks like, try to have an intentional like family rhythm where like you have dinner together, or maybe an off like a couple of hours of every other day is off limits, and like you can only do family time during that time or whatever it may be, like game night. Showing that you are there for your kid in that time is an intentional thing, whether you work in the summer or not, like whatever your job may be. I think one of the hardest things about summer from a familial standpoint is you get siloed off and everybody is just kind of off on their own doing their own thing, and you don't ever really fully check in and connect. And that's what like you could still be busy and still be doing things, but you're not connecting as a family if you're all doing your own thing all summer long. And like
Mhm.
Karlie said, there are camps and things that keep teens busy, but that also pulls teens away from the house during those times as well. So being intentional about having family time is an incredibly important part of summer as well.
Right, and those I mean, they can include vacations, which are great, but it
Hmm.
really could be something as simple as we are going to eat dinner together 4 nights a week, and
Hmm.
we're gonna check
Yeah.
in, "Hey, how was your day? What did you do?" Pull teens into that. I think one of the things I'm also gonna encourage you to do is look for something that they can contribute. Maybe that's
Hmm.
a job. Maybe that's volunteering. Maybe that's helping around the house. One thing I like to do, my kids are younger, but I like to do last summer is I want you to come up with 3 things you want to learn this summer that you don't currently. Last year, I think Sawyer's was he wanted to learn how to make scrambled eggs. I mean, it can be something very easy, but okay, let's work on that this summer that you can then contribute to the house that, hey, you can make breakfast in the morning. Actually, I take it back. His was more fun. I think it was making cookies, like break and bake cookies. And I did wake up one morning at like 8 a.m. and there were cookies coming out of the oven. I was like, maybe not.
He's doing it.
Yeah,
Goal
exactly.
accomplished.
But if that family dinner time, that could also be, hey, we're going to take turns. And if depending on how many kids are in your family, a different kid is going to help me with dinner every night. And we're going to work on those skills and you're going to help out. And then the others get to clean up and you get to take the night off from cleaning. Like you can make
Hmm.
it fun
Yeah.
and different. Let them have insight into you're going to do pizza night or fun breakfast for dinner. There are fun things that you could do that. But I mean, put a little responsibility back on them to
Yeah.
do something. And even if that is I think it's been a little while, but we've done an episode on summer jobs. Maybe that's they work a few hours in a snow cone stand. It doesn't have to be something crazy. Maybe, did you mow lawns, Caleb?
Oh, yeah.
Was that your thing?
Yeah. I mowed lawns and worked at Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
Because I only had like 3 lawns. It was like
Sure,
your lawn,
but it made you, yeah.
2 others. Yeah, but it did make me get out.
Or like I babysat, like that's just, and it wasn't an all day, everyday
Yeah.
thing, but it gave me a reason to get out and do something and
Mhm.
contribute outside of just me and my
And
I
yeah, I
think
like
phone.
the idea of having your kids contribute, whether it's a meal or even get them thinking through what do you enjoy, have them plan, hey, if we're going to spend time as a family together, if it's 4 meals a week, yeah, help them plan out. What do you want to eat? Can you help contribute to cook? Hey, we're going to go and do something fun this week. What do you want to do? Having them come up with ideas to contribute in that way to create some ownership of it as well. And then I think going back even to like morning anchor and some of the strict sense of things without making it seem like, hey, it's a no fun zone, but helping them see there's some things that we need to remove in order for us to have more fun. And so whether it's phone boundaries of if that one thing that we're going to do this week as a family, we're also going to make sure there's no phones. So that way and group wide, yourself included, no phone for you too.
yeah.
If you're going to main event, if you're going to go-karts, if you're going on a walk, no phone. Let's enjoy it. Let's have fun. And it can help yourself and your teen kind of help see, okay, I don't need my phone for this. I can be fully invested. So if it's 1 hour a day without your phone, the first 30 minutes of your day without the phone, doing other things. I think there's different ways that you can implement to help your student kind of see, okay, this isn't necessarily a restriction for no fun, but enabling me to be more present, to have more fun.
It's really important to know that this is not going to be perfect, and that every week you may have to like look back and be like, that didn't go as well as I thought it would, and adjust and kind of change it up. And every week looks different. Like the schedules are very crazy in the summer. And so I think having a weekly check-in is really important for that, even if it's just you and your as the adult or whatever it may be. Another thing to watch out for that I've noticed is that if your teen is not like ever changing clothes, or like always wearing like pajamas or shorts and a t-shirt, like if you see them like in that rut of, I mean for real, like that's a pretty big warning sign of, well, my kid needs to get out today and needs to go out and do something, because he's been wearing the same ratty basketball shorts and t-shirt or hoodie every day this week. And so I mean, and
then
you
send him to Caleb at the church and tell him to go.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
Right. Go play
hang out with their youth minister.
Yeah, right.
Or he's not doing anything.
Is, so just a couple of tips and takeaways for this, and to wrap up, is just basically ask them, give them like we said, give them ownership of, ask them what they want summer to feel like, and ask them at the end of the summer, what would you do that would make you proud, and then ask them what's one habit that would make their days better. Because honestly, the goal would also be to take that summer vibe and carry it into the next school year. Like if they do learn a better habit or a better anchor, like maybe that's something that can push them into the school year and help them throughout the school year as well. Because like summer doesn't have to be like this magical thing. Like I know I get into that comparison mode of like, oh man, my friends are taking their kids on a vacation, but I'm broke and can't do that. And you kind of get in this comparison mode of like that the teens struggle with every day with social media. Like we do that as adults. Like it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be this magical thing. Just create some intentional space for them and make it what it needs to be for your family. Like we're not trying to create Instagram stories and social reels to like, show all the cool things we do. We're trying to help teens have a better life at their home.
It's good. So as you head into the summer, I mean, we hope your teen has an incredible summer, but we also hope that you have a fun summer where you're not just fighting a battle every single day trying to get them out of bed. So if you can have these conversations and do these things on the front end of summer, it's going to set you up for success. And like Tobin said, you might have to adjust and be open to that, asking them what went well and what can we change moving forward. And those are great check-ins. But we also encourage you, don't wait until the end and go, man, that could have been so much better than it was, but have that conversation now. And that is a wrap on this spring season of the Teen Life Podcast. We'll be back in the fall with more questions. So if you have questions that you want us to cover next time, you can reach out on social media, or you can email us at podcast@teenlife.ngo to submit your questions. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss our next episode. And we'll see you after this summer.